simple like that. Still playing the chord like...
I've got a Kirk Fletcher jam today, and this is another one of him playing chords and licks in between. And this is a video he did with Brett Papa, where he goes into, you know, quite basically how he likes to outline chord shapes. So let's check out the video and then we'll break it down lick by lick with tabs.
Something real simple like that. Still playing the chord like...
Okay.
You know.
Right, so we're in the key of B flat. So I want to go over quickly first just the chords. So the key of B flat are one chord. We've got B flat here off the 6th fret, B flat dominant 7. Then the 4 chord is going to be E flat, where Kirk uses this E9 voicing. But as usual, Kirk, you know, a lot of the times he plays the root on the low E and he mutes out the A, but you can play it either way. And sometimes he slides a half step over and then back to that chord. And then for our 5 chord, we've got an F9. But Kirk also plays a 4 chord at one point in this E flat 9 voicing up here, and I've got all the tabs on screen. And there's also an E flat 7 here. So Kirk does that cool trick on the 1 chord, which I've done in quite a few videos, where we play this triad with these 3 strings, and then we rock our finger over. We're basically playing it at this chord shape and we hammer into that major 3rd. So let's watch each lick at a time now and then break it down. Right, so the first lick. So scales, you can think of your minor pentatonic box 1 off the 6th fret. We're thinking major pentatonic as well, so in the same spot we've got our major pentatonic. So the first lick we're going to be playing major pentatonic, and the majority of this is major pentatonic. So we're going to play 6/8 on the B, then over to the 6 on the high E, and then we push up the 8th fret a whole step, and that goes to the major 3rd of this B flat 7. It's this note. It's our D. Then he plays the 1 chord. If you have difficulty doing them embellishments, you can just play a 1 chord. You can play the chords any way you want. Next lick.
You know, something real simple like that.
So what he does now, he goes to the 4 chord and he's playing this 9th chord voicing, where he slides it up from the E flat a whole step and then back, and he plays the 4 chord. So he slides it from the 6th to the 8th, and then he comes back and plays the 6th fret. Like I said before, I think he's playing with this finger here on the low E. He's putting the 5 in the bass. And then the lick, we slide into the 12th fret with our middle finger. That's the major third of the 4 chord. And then first finger, we're going to grab the 11th fret. That would be the 5th of the chord. And then we're going to push up on the 13th fret half step. And that takes you to the flat 7 of our 4 chord. Then we go 11, 13 on the high E. Then we come back over to the B, push up that 13th fret, release back to the 13th. So we push up to the 14th, sorry, release to the 13th, and then we play the 11th fret with some vibrato. So that 4 chord lick. Then he comes over back to his 1 chord. And then what he does, a little lick after that, so we've got the 1 chord that he plays. We slide in, back to major pentatonic in the 6th position. We slide in 6 to 8. So we're playing the same bunch of notes we did for the first lick, we're just approaching them a bit differently. So we're going to go 6, 8 on the B. Grab that high E 6th fret, which is our root of the 1 chord. Then we hammer 6, 8 on the high E. Then we play the 8th fret of the B. I'm playing this with my 2nd finger. I think Kirk just rolls over this ring finger. And then we finish it 6th fret of the high E, that's the root of the 1 chord. So from the 4 chord,
Still playing the chord like.
Okay.
So Kirk says he's just playing the chord, so he's just playing the notes of the chord. So he comes up now and he's going to the 4 chord, but he plays the 4 chord. He plays this E flat 9 voicing here, A rooted, 10th fret, A string rooted. So this is the same as this chord. Also you've got an E flat 9, an E dominant 7, an E flat dominant 7 right there on the 11th fret. So it's good if you know where all your chord shapes are. So there's that 4 chord. And then he plays a nice lick right in there. So we're going 13th fret, pushing up to the 14th. So again, we're doing that same lick we did last time basically. Pushing up 13 to 14, that's the flat 7 of the 4 chord. Release. And playing the 11th fret with some vibrato. So when we finish on that note and give some vibrato, you can see that it's in that chord. It's the 5 of our 4 chord. So we're going flat 7 to the 5. So we're just playing chord tones right out of the 4 chord. And then Kirk grabs his thumb on the low E 11th fret, that's our root of the 4 chord, and does this nice little embellishment. We've got 11, 11 on the G and the B, and we hammer into the 12th of the G, that's the major third. So that whole lick. Let's do that again. There's another lick in the same spot. We're pushing up again, that 13th fret to the 14th. Then we pull off. And then we play the 12th fret of the G. And back to the B string, hammer on 11 to 13. Back to the 12th on the G. And then back to the 11th fret on the B. This is now, so the 5 of this 4 chord, this is now, it's also the root of our tonic. So we can land on that note at any point. Remember, this is the BB box. So now we go back to the 1. And then we do another little lick, like what we have been doing with previous licks. We go 6/8 on the B, 6/8 on the high E, then over to that B string 8th fret again, back to the root. So that embellishment, we're going to go thumb, then we've got the D, G and B string on the 6th, hammer into the 3rd, so we're covering the 1 chord there. Then we reach over with our 3rd finger and do the same 3 strings, D, G and B on the 8th fret, and then repeat and go back to the 1 chord. It's a good technique to get down. I've got it in a lot of my previous videos. Kirk does this all the time. So that full lick from that BB box lick. Now we're going to move into the 5 chord. So for the 5 chord lick, we're going to grab the 6th fret. This is where we're going to go a bit minor pentatonic. So we're going to go 6th fret on the B. We're going to go 6th fret on the B, and then push up on the 9th fret, just a little bit. So we're going to push up on that 9th fret, a bit of a tweak. Back to the 6th fret, but now on the high E. Back to that 9th fret on the B. And then we're going to hammer in 6 to 8. And this, you could think of this as F minor pentatonic. That's why it's going to sound great over our F chord. And then he plays the chord, he plays the root, which is the 8th fret of the A string. And then he plays this 9th chord voicing. Let's play that lick again. He has a good laugh about that one. So we play the root straight after. And then we go back to the 4 chord where he plays this nice little lick again in the same area of the major pentatonic. So we're going to push up on the 8th, a half step. That's taking us into the minor 3rd of the tonic. So we push up a half step, back to the 8th, then to the 6th fret. And then we're going to go 8/6 on the B, and then finish it with playing the 6th fret of the high E. So from the 5 chord. Then we play the 4 chord. And then he finishes off with this nice little lick, pushes up the 8th fret to the 9th. See, we're going into that minor 3rd, the B flat minor 3rd now. Push up, release, and pull off back to the 6th fret. This is all on the high E, all with 1 pick. Then we're going to come over, grab the 8th fret of the B, then hammer 6 to 8, and then a quick stab on the 6th fret high E to finish it off. So a lot of these licks are all based around 6th, 8th fret on the B and on the high E. And if you looked at your B minor pentatonic, B flat minor pentatonic, they're the top 2 strings. You've got 6 and 9, 6 and 9. The major notes we're mixing in are just behind them top 2 notes. So we've got the 8th fret, and we can bend up into that minor 3rd, or bend up into that flat 7. So B flat minor pentatonic, and then we've got B flat major pentatonic in the same spot. So that final lick, we've got, what we can do straight after that, you could just play your 1 chord again, because Kirk kind of ends it there. You could go back to your 1 chord, or you could put in a turnaround. I'll put the tabs in the video on my Patreon page, so you can download the sheets. You know, it's always a good idea to go and get the sheets and watch over, you know, Kirk playing it a couple of times, and then, you know, do the tutorial and the licks with me. It's totally for free. If you've got any comments, just you know, stick them back down below. Any requests, you can just give me a shout. Cheers for watching, and I'll do another video in a couple of days.